our laughter. We have the guys to filibuster, even though one of them is a jar of mustard. Thank God it's Tuesday. We take a look at comedians, and Charles used to be one. We have a lot to say about comedy. Can you believe Gray is a jar of mustard? And then there's Lapsed. What does he do? And why is here? Thank God it's Tuesday.
That's right. Thank God it's Tuesday. Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the show. Yeah, today we're going to have a little friendly debate. I don't know if anyone's hardcore going to say that one of these is the absolute new mecca, and I don't know what you want to call it, new destination for all things comedy. But still, we've got a pretty staunch defender of one of these to my right. Charles, welcome to the show, sir. Are you
Hi.
thanking God it's Tuesday?
Oh, I thank God every time it's Tuesday. So I had a post on my community tab. I don't know what the hell you call it. If you had to spend one night seeing a comedy show, which city would you bet on having the most fun, quality acts? 55% said New York, 33% said Austin, 11% said Los Angeles. That was 105 votes worth of percentages.
You know, I can understand why people voted that way, but I think LA kind of gets the short end of the stick.
I agree.
There's so much going on there, but it's kind of not where you think of, especially as of late. But speaking as of late, I am late to introduce the third person, the master of the channel. You know, the host of the last panel. It is Lapsed Comic Fan. Hello, sir. How you doing this fine Tuesday?
I am thanking God that it's Tuesday. I had my altar ready and everything this morning. I was praying to the God of Tuesday, and it was a good morning.
Well, dig it, everyone. You know, it's Tuesday. So yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to debate this, and I guess I'm going to be the one who's closest to white knighting Austin. I think there's an angle here, but I don't think it's the new Mecca, but man, is it a contender. And I think that's what is kind of interesting to me. I guess I wouldn't have thought so little could be done so fast.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's popularity has something to do with it, I would guess. You know,
Of course.
I think if you're a stand-up and you're focusing on stand-up more than anything, I think Austin would be the place to go. Because if it works out for you, the opportunity is, I don't know, if you can get on Rogan's podcast, that's got to be a tremendous boost for whoever. But I think LA and New York shouldn't be discounted for their, there's other things to do and there's other clubs to do. I think you have to be a specific type of comedian to succeed in Austin. Is my
It appears that might be the thing. Okay, something happened to my face. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a certain type of comedy that is prevalent there now, but I don't know, man. They've got more venues than people like to give them credit for. They do have like alt scenes as well, and they've always had like South by Southwest and a few other festivals down there where they were open to kind of like different types of comedy. It's true. It is kind of the Rogan sphere right now, and he did bring a bunch of real heavy hitters with him down there. But man, there's more. Okay. I was working outside in the sun, but I do have a red light also on this side. So sorry, I'm being asked if I am sunburned. Possibly. But yeah. And then that's true. There's a lot of places all over the country. Chicago definitely always gets kind of the short end of the stick, but they're kind of thought more of like Second City and stuff like that. They're not necessarily seen as I don't know, the comedy stand-up capital or anything like that. Edinburgh has the Fringe Festival, which is always awesome, but yeah, I think there's a lot of places that kind of get overlooked, and it used to just be LA and New York, but man, we got Austin now.
Yeah.
Lapsed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where do you see comedy as like the capital for you?
the capital. I still look at New York as that, but I think I agree a little bit with Charles just from watching so much of the Austin scene in the past probably like few weeks since we did Gringo Poppy and going into like other people. It does feel like they have their specific brand. Now there were other guys that did different stuff, but they didn't seem to get the reaction. I might remember names as we go along. That's my worst thing. I'm very bad with names. Very good, very bad with names. But there was things that, like, if you're not into the alt-right comedy, you might not be as welcomed maybe, but they are in Texas. So I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
are you playing to the crowd? Are you going what works?
But
there?
isn't Austin like Texas is San Francisco? Like, isn't that kind of
Yeah. It was always the keep Austin weird crowd. They were always open to kind of different types of comedy. That's still there. That's just definitely not what the mothership is. But the mothership did make comedy kind of like a destination thing.
That is true.
Well-
I give it credit for that. That is very true. It did. I never would have been talking about Austin if it wasn't for that.
right.
So I mean, you have to give credit where credit's due on that front. And that can't be easy to do. Maybe if I had as much money as Rogan and could just build a comedy place and bring all my friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they still have to like entertain people for them to go to make money. So I guess that's where the conundrum comes in. Like, do the comedians themselves say, I want to go to Austin, or I want to go to New York City, or do I want to go to Los Angeles? I think that's where the discussion is coming.
But I think it kind of depends what you're looking to do. Because like, if you're, what is the end goal of it? Is it to just be
Make
like
money?
straight stand up, or is it to like parlay stand up into movies? Because if so, you're definitely going to have way more of a chance in LA of doing that than necessarily like in New York. But if you're really into comedy and you want to possibly parlay that into, like, if you're good at doing characters like SNL or something like that, like, it's going to be hard as hell. Like, there's 0 spots available, but you might be able to do something like that. But it would definitely be a lot easier if you're closer. But I don't know. It just kind of depends. Also, if you want to get into that like Rogan sphere type of thing, you'd kind of go that area. You'd go into that brand of comedy. I know, Labs, you were calling it alt-right. I don't see it as that, but
I mean, I do.
I know what you're talking about. The Rogan sphere type. There's definitely a type. It's well known. There's a type of comedy that's accepted in that circle.
I've watched one Kill Tony so far, and it's the first one that they did for Netflix. I will say, it feels like some sort of homage, some sort of tribute to the days of Dice and Sam Kinison, but I don't know if that's a good thing, because like just cursing and screaming isn't what that was about, and to be stuck in that period is weird. It's a little weird.
I think you're shortchanging William
fair.
Montgomery a little bit for that.
Not
We
exclusively
actually
him.
need to. Okay, fair enough. That crowd does like to yell, but it is kind of one of William Montgomery's bits, and it's way more than that. He's not just doing like a Kinison impression, but you're right. For some reason, louder works a lot better there.
Kinison was a writer at the very least. He had funny things to say on top of his screams.
Well, yeah, that's like the setup was the small, and then the loud was the payoff. Like, you're such a fucking idiot. Why can't you get to me? That's at least for Kinison. I look at C. Montgomery non-Burns is a little bit different, but there are to the layman, I could see them thinking like that's very similar.
Well,
Hmm.
if you put that guy in LA, you put him in New York, he's not getting very far. That's a very short act. Like, I don't know if you could do
Well,
a tight 10 like that.
well, we got to. Okay, apparently I might need to go to the doctor and see about the rosy cheeks, rosacea thing. I don't know, man. I got a red light on the side of my room. I'm not sure if that's doing it, but thanks for the vote of confidence. So anyway,
Just tell him you're Ted
I
Kennedy drunk. That's all you got to do.
oh, dude, I wish drinking was a thing. I wish I could blame it on that. Um, but uh, sorry. Yes. As for if he would make it somewhere else, I think he would. But sadly, we have a video that we can kind of test that. William
Ooh.
Montgomery specifically, when he's
Ooh.
not in front of a crowd expecting that. Man, it is a weird kind of failure where he's committing to the bit, but the crowd is having none of it. It seems to be like the wrong gig type of situation. But
Okay.
that's one that we definitely got to look at, and also the David Lucas one, where it's kind of a
Ooh.
similar thing, but he walks a lot of the crowd. Uh, but you're right, like there is a type, but I don't know. I feel like they hit jokes from all sorts of different angles, but I hear
Dude,
what you're
well,
saying.
it's so the one episode of Kill Tony that I did see was at the mothership. It was like the big premiere for Netflix. There were
Yeah.
moments I have like sympathy anxiety, so it made me break out. People going 3-4 jokes deep without like a peep from the crowd. Like, my palms were sweating. Just like I can't imagine just failing, even in such a short time, like a minute. And then, like we said before we went live, hearing some of these people say, like, "Yeah, I've been doing it for 4 years." 4 years? You don't have 30 seconds material yet? Like, what? How much
You've
stage
seen
time are you
nothing
getting?
yet. Just wait till you hear about the ones who have been doing it for like 15 years. It's like I would have thought this was
Oh,
like the first time you've touched a microphone in your life. But yeah, I would say that all of the Netflix ones, they're not the best example of that show.
okay.
It is best when it's in a club, and I think only one of those is in the club. But even then, it's kind of a forced episode. They do much better. Those aren't the best representation of it.
Yeah, I've watched some. There's some that I enjoy. I just look at it as, for me, it gets a little bit redundant after a while because they do bring on a lot of the same people, or that maybe that's just who shows up, because I know that is a big deal.
Hmm.
And some of it I just don't get.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get, like, the one guy that's been there like every week who's got like the red hair and the bald on top, and he's just crazy.
That's William Montgomery. That's the guy that we've been
that's
talking about, man.
that's him.
Oh.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah,
What
the
is
big red
that?
machine.
That's terrible. That's the guy.
He's
That's
hilarious.
William Montgomery. No.
Yeah, when I saw him in person, so I did see him. He
Damn
opened
it.
for Tony, or featured for Tony. It was great. I gotta be honest. He had this running bit of like selling Percocet, or excuse me. Yeah,
That's
it was
him?
Percocet.
That's him?
Yeah, it was great. It was great, man. He does different bits, but a lot of it is
Well,
somewhat spontaneous and
The stuff on Kill
loud.
Tony that I've seen him do like the 7 or 9 times, I have not laughed one time, and I've just been like, dude, I would
Ooh.
never let this person around my child. He looks
I
like
am-
he rapes people.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would let him around my kid either, but yeah, I hear you. But I appreciate him a little bit more. But all right.
He-
I guess
He reminds me of a act that I worked with decades ago that very similar, just like knock joke type stuff. I remember one of his jokes, and it was like painful because if it missed hard, but if it hit, it actually hit quite hard. If a pregnant woman uses a vibrator, there's a kid come out stuttering, and he has this like Dangerfield type thing to it, where he's just those types of jokes over and over again, and it is incredibly hit or miss because there's no like
It's
mediocre.
no respect.
Right. Yeah. Like,
Well-
and Dangerfield had character.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
do want to point out one thing that like he literally is there each week. He is kind of usually the closer.
Yeah.
So he does come up with a new minute. So that minute is new stuff. But a lot of what he ends up doing is kind of comedy in the interview afterwards. But I
Okay.
mean, he's not blowing his actual material that like he goes and tours with
Okay. There we go. I was just saying,
on that
is
1
it
minute.
is it
Like it
is
literally
it
is a new minute.
is it different?
There's a
Like,
lot of Aphex Twin jokes and stuff.
is his stand up like where he's actually opening for someone? Is it different? Is he standing there with a piece of paper
yeah.
reading off it?
No. There's
No?
no
Okay.
I don't
Is
remember
it
him with any sort of card. Those are just for the 1 minutes as far as I know.
okay? Because I mean, like, I could go, like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm good or anything, but I could literally go in there and just talk for a minute and it not make sense like his stuff. I could do that every week.
Right.
Could you
Yeah.
do it? All right.
See,
I don't
don't-
think you could do that every week, but
I
I
don't
could
think the
totally
maybe
do
I
idea
that every week.
underestimate you.
the idea
Okay,
of
man. You get
writing
1
I'm not
minute each
saying
week.
I'm not saying it would be funny. I don't think he's funny. That's the whole thing.
the problem is the writing a new minute every week. Like that, not everyone can do that. Like that,
Yeah.
Louis C.K. made it quite popular to do an hour, then just reset after releasing it. Like not everyone can do that.
No,
Sometimes
for sure. But
some-
it's not really comedy though what he does there.
It is
And-
so
and-
comedy.
How?
It's not your cup of tea, but it's
I mean,
comedy. So.
I've seen him talk about toilet paper that he used at a restroom.
bitch.
Yeah, I went into
There's
the
a lot of
restroom.
there's a lot of
holding his
jokes about
paper,
plies and stuff, man.
And I didn't like it, and I got shit on my hand. On my hand. Ah! Like I don't know, dude. I mean, you want me to do that for 1 minute a week?
I mean, it kind of sounds like you're doing a Kinnison impression. I mean,
Oh, that's
you
odd.
can.
Go figure.
Yeah. Well, I don't get that impression from William Montgomery. What can I say? I'm a fan, but we'll focus a little bit more on him in a future episode. I think I can win you guys over. If you want to focus on that, I can get some of his best bits. And
Like-
let me tell you, that on top of him committing to it while the entire room is against him, I don't know. It might might win you over.
It's avant-garde.
It is.
There's something to it. I just don't know if I would call it what I would want to see as far as a stand-up show is concerned. So Jaden in chat says Austin is to comedians as LA is to actors. They'll come in with no money, living in their car to become a comic. I feel like that's kind of the thing right now. The one thing that I felt, I don't know if I said this before the stream or during it, but I feel like what American Idol was to singers, that universe in Austin is probably that for comedians. People just not understanding how good they are, but going there to see if they can cut the mustard. Forgive me, Gray.
Based. No, I get it, and I think you're right. But I mean, like, you wouldn't go to like American Idol to be like, can I sing? Let me try my first song here. Where for some reason a lot of people are doing that with Kill Tony. Like, you should know that you have talent, and you should know that you are ready to go, and you've kind of cut your teeth, and then go there because it is kind of this huge platform. I think their most popular episode is the Shane Gillis as Trump and Adam Ray as Biden. I think it's like 23 or 25 million views. I'm just saying, like, if you're just some unknown on there, man, that's at least millions of pairs of eyes, even if all didn't watch the entire program.
For sure.
Man,
for sure. It's definitely a major platform.
Oh yeah.
A major
can you
platform.
imagine completely bombing, like not really having a minute ready and doing that?
Yes.
There's people doing that on that show, and that's part of the appeal of it, because there are seasoned professionals, and then there's just people who they overestimate their abilities quite often.
Oh,
Something
for sure, for sure.
something I will say is Tony Hinchcliffe seems the most empathetic and human-like in that period after the comedians do their set. Like it seems like he's genuine and sincere when he's asking questions. So, I'm of two minds with Tony Hinchcliffe, because he could be an asshole in that moment, especially if someone bombs, and he isn't always that, which is a pleasant surprise.
I dig him, but he can definitely be an asshole. Part of his shtick is the whole like bravado thing. So I don't know. He's an asshole quite often, but I'm a
Sure, but
fan.
like in that moment, like if a comedian has just bombed, like there's some sort of rapport there, some sort of empathy, some
In
sort of
certain
understanding.
episodes, but other episodes, he
Yeah.
literally just throws a book at their face and tells them to get the fuck out of there.
Oh,
Yes.
Sometimes the other ones are the most empathetic. Like, for some reason, you wouldn't have thought that Ric Flair would be like, no, let's not make fun of people. He was drunk off his ass, but he didn't want to participate in the mocking of these comedians who were trying.
okay. So they dressed themselves up for Netflix. Is that what I witnessed?
Kind
A little
of.
bit, yeah.
Bill Burr did it like over a decade ago, and he was just like, this is wrong. Like, I don't want to make fun of these people trying to do something. So like, I believe he ended up walking off as well.
Wow.
There's been quite a few walk-offs throughout the years, but yeah, it depends. Empathy can be shown. They definitely respect. Oh, that's awesome. Sorry, we're saying that Nashville might end up the comedy hub. I don't know, man. It's definitely a hub for like live entertainment. I don't know. I just don't see anything really competing with New York. I mean, it's got 50 years of legacy on it, but you know, Austin has 5 years, and man, to be a contender in that
Well,
short of a time frame.
you have a presentation, don't you? Why don't you get started
do.
with your
Yeah.
work here? Woo.
Sweet. Sorry about that. Dog was barking. Okay, so we've got LA versus Austin versus New York. You know, it's all slide-like. So I thought the first way to kind of go through it would be, you know, let's talk about the legends from each place. So the other thing is, I do not have every legend on here correct. There's about 1 million people left off of each of these, and it's where the internet is saying. So which one you stopping
Sorry,
at?
George Carlin is an LA legend?
So that's what they're saying, even though he spent. So it depends which list you're looking at, where it's like where they were living when they did a portion of their comedy, or where it's where they lived the majority of their life. It kind of depends where it is, because a lot of these, like for instance, Letterman and Leno, and I think there's a couple other ones who were like born in New York. They kind of cut their teeth in New York, but they're kind of known as the LA comics. So I don't know, man. It depends what list you're on, but I would say they're kind of the showbiz known comics. So you got your priors. They're saying Carlin. I got you. I always thought of him as a New York one, but like 3 lists had him as LA. So
Okay.
I included him. You know, he did like Dogma and a few other things. He was trying to be a little bit more LA at the end, I think. Hedberg,
You got Jay
you know,
Leno
like
there. You know, I mean, nobody could take away from
Yeah.
Jay Leno. You driving? You got a license? You driving? You got
Um,
one?
So same thing with like Ralphie May. He had like 4 or 5 houses. He lived all over, but a bunch of them were putting him as LA comic because he at least did show business sometimes here or in LA.
Isn't that where he broke out though? Was LA? Didn't he break out in LA?
I believe so, and I mean he was involved in quite a few different like productions and stuff
Okay.
too. So I think he just had a house there, but I don't know. I want to say like Tennessee was where he mainly
Yeah, he
lived,
was.
but
He was on like the original Last Comic Standing season, wasn't he?
yes,
Yeah,
if
he
it
Rich
wasn't the
Lawson,
original
yeah.
one, it's one of those.
He was
Yeah.
in one of
those
them.
first
Yeah.
ones.
The guys
Yeah.
that lost to Dat Fan.
And then
God.
you got other ones who aren't really known, and Robin Williams, you know. So you've got other ones that were legendary but don't seem to be doing comedy as much. Letterman, Carrey, you know, Jim Carrey was legendary, but I mean, does he count as a Canadian comic because he's from Canada, but he spends most of his time in LA? I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
sure how we're doing this. From what
Okay.
I understand, he lives in LA, so that's how we're going. Same
It's
thing
good
with
to
the
be
Austin
not
guys.
sure when you're making the presentation, Greg. Good job.
Well, they're living in Austin, right? So like Rogan, he cut his teeth in LA. Like most of these guys are LA comics who moved to Austin, right? We're just calling them that because that's where they live.
Right.
So I
Okay.
guess I'd go with this. Like Cheech Marin, he was also, you know, very popular back in the day. And then we've got current heavy hitters who are still going hard. You got Bill Burr, Mark Maron, Jeff Ross, Tiffany Haddish, Bobby Lee, Andrew Santino, Gabriel Iglesias, Leslie Jones, Al Madrigal, Christopher Titus, Brad Williams, Ali Wong. And then you've got heavy hitters who kind of occasionally do it. I'm not sure if they're all in it full time.
Mark
with comedy.
Curry.
Margaret
I know, man.
Cho. Oh my
Margaret
God.
Cho. I'm just saying a lot of these people went a little bit more of you know, acting route or other forms rather than just straight stand up. And then the legend who doesn't get nearly enough respect, Stephen Brody Stevens. I love that dude. So I don't know. Those are kind of the legends for LA. Oh, sorry. Go
Tell
right
you
ahead.
what, Brody Stevens. There's these videos that used to be on the NFL Network. They were like top tens that were like really stupid, right? And his stuff on there was always hilarious. It was always really fucking funny and always made me smile every time I watched like a top 10. Because they would be like, you could watch them as full shows on YouTube, but they were actually just like in between commercial breaks. They'd have like a number 5 and 6 and number 3 and something like that. And he was always hilarious on it. Always hilarious.
Yeah.
Brody Stevens.
I don't think he gets enough credit, and he was kind of one of the original kind of mainstays of Kill Tony as well. Just man, he was a whole influence over there, and just man, he was a presence. I dug him, but still, he's not necessarily L.A. He would always rep his own particular hood, which still California, but he's not exactly L.A. But man, deserved more. So I think you'd have to compare it to the New York Legends, which again,
I apologize. I didn't realize
everywhere that I
Carlin was
looked
on
at,
both.
Carlin was included, and it's like I don't know which one he goes at.
You have 3 comedians in a row from my generation: Joan Rivers, Lenny Bruce, and Don Rickles. So at least
Well,
I remember them.
The entire left is the legends who are gone but not forgotten. The great Patrice O'Neill. Love me some Patrice. He was the GOAT. I really wish he would have gotten one more special. I think he totally would have popped. Elephant in the Room was awesome when it finally dropped, but man, I think he could have gone so much further. And think what he would be saying today. Same thing with Carlin. That would be amazing. Joan Rivers is kind of getting a little bit of a resurgence with Hacks on HBO. There's a kind of fictional version of her, but man, she deserved a little bit more recognition than she gets. Lenny Bruce, he at least gets his recognition. Rickles, love it. Kaufman, I don't know. He also did a bunch of stuff in LA. So is he really a New York comedian? I don't know, but he's amazing. Gilbert Gottfried, how do you not talk about Iago? He's the greatest. Too soon. Richard Lewis, man, he's a classic, and man, was he a killer. And I don't think he got enough credit, even though he was with us until recently. And then Charlie Murphy. Some say he stuck at it a little bit longer than Eddie. I don't know that he had quite as much impact, but man, the impact that he had was huge. Greg Giraldo, he is my favorite roaster ever.
Charlie Murphy he writes really good skits. And his stand-up was, from what I saw, it was okay, but his skits and his appearance in skits were great.
Yeah. I think
they were fantastic.
I think LA comedians go there for performing. New York comedians go there for writing.
Okay, that makes sense.
For offshoots.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I could definitely see that. You're kind of going with the New York legends. They're going with Clay. I mean, the Dice Man? He is as New York as it gets, but he didn't always live in New York, from what I understand. So I don't know, but he's very stereotypical. There is a guy I left off of the Austin list who I have to show you. You're probably not familiar with Timmy No Breaks. You need to meet Timmy, but we'll get to that later. Supposedly Tracy Morgan cut his teeth there. I know that he did SNL and they did 30 Rock and everything. So it seems like he was always an East Coast guy, but I swear he also spent a ton of time in LA. But it doesn't seem like he's quite out there nearly as much. Same thing with Seinfeld. It doesn't seem like he's out there nearly as much, but he seems to be a New York guy. Jon Stewart also.
I would say Seinfeld's a New York guy. I mean, most of his early work was all in New York.
Yeah.
His bigger stuff was in New York. So
for sure. And then you've got amazing writers. Larry David, while his stand-up career was very small, man, was his writing prolific, like Charles was saying. Eddie Murphy, one of the most powerful performers with so much impact, such a short career. I don't know. Did you guys happen to watch the doc not too long ago?
Yes, I watched it.
Which one?
You think he's making a comeback? There's Netflix Eddie Murphy one that
he could be. If he does, he's
awesome.
Definitely bringing a puppet.
I have not.
Yeah,
I have not seen it. Interesting.
It's a good stand-up special. Okay. It's very touching. For certain,
kind of a documentary thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Documentary. There's some like some really like heartfelt stuff in that. Like when he talks
Interesting.
about buying the gravestones. I won't ruin that part,
Oh.
but that's very, very touching.
Ooh,
Okay.
I've got Tracy Morgan on here twice. I did not even notice that.
And did
good
you,
times.
you know, Sean has a good point. Did you think of me as a British comedian, or did you not know how to spell Patterson?
I have you listed as other, so
Hey,
I mean, you're not
don't-
in New York currently, and I do have another list that's current comedians.
I am a
have-
legend.
These
so
are
far I
these
haven't
are
seen
legends.
Bill Hicks on here. Maybe he could be with you on other.
So that's the other thing. Like, you do have the Hickses and stuff, and they definitely went through both of them. But from what I understand, he was mainly Texas dude. I think even
Yes.
in the end, he was there. So I don't know, man. There's so many that aren't just these two hubs of it, but still, it seems like one has a little bit more firepower. So you get to like the Bill Maher's, the Paul Reisers, the Ray Romanos, who are powerhouses in their day, but they don't seem to be doing as much stand up. And then you still got current legends. You've got Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., Chris Rock, Attell, Quinn, Ari Shaffir, Greg Fitzsimmons, Jim Norton, Todd Barry, Jim Gaffigan. Like all of these are huge headliners. Maybe some a little bit smaller than others, but some legendary nonetheless. I don't know, man. There's a lot of firepower in these legend lists. I'm not sure who I'd pit against each other, but man, and I'm sure I forgot a million on each list.
Okay.
It was a little bit harder than I would have thought to kind of gather. Everyone classifies it a little bit differently, and I think I would argue with some of these, but
Sure.
that's not the only way that you'd kind of do it. So I think the current comics would kind of be a big thing, right? So you got Burr. It's hard to ignore Burr. He is huge. He's doing arenas right now. But you've got solid acts who might not quite be there, but man, Marin, he's literally like interviewed a president. I know that doesn't necessarily mean you're a better stand-up comedian. I'm just saying it's not all one side that gets to interview political figures.
I know how he feels about Austin.
But yeah, you got the Roastmaster General, Jeff Ross himself, legend. Tiffany Haddish, Bobby Lee, Andrew Santino. Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. Man, he is about as as big an arena act as you can kind of get as a single comedian right now. He's killing it. Leslie Jones, Al Madrigal, Christopher Titus, and then you've got other amazing ones. Oh, Brad Williams, probably still an arena act. Ali Wong, she was killing it for so long. You've got fun, interesting ones that are a little bit different. So you get kind of Maria Bamford types. Love her kind of, I don't know what you would want to call that, avant-garde humor. Doug Benson with his kind of stoner humor. Awesome as a podcast host. His comedy, I like it. Maybe it's not for everybody. I know your favorite, Charles, Hassan Minhaj. He's everyone's friend's boyfriend or husband.
I love closing a 20-minute bit with, and I'm pregnant. Yeah. Or married, whatever.
Married, pregnant.
Doesn't matter. After.
Is
yes, sir.
Patton Oswalt not on this list?
See, so I for some reason I've got Ali Wong on there twice and no Patton, but Patton should definitely be on there.
I'm
Same
realizing how difficult this must have been for you because like as I'm thinking, I'm like, hey, what about this about? What about this one?
There's like 100 that I don't have on there.
He definitely coined the if you hit a midget on the head with a wooden spoon, it turns into 10 golden coins. So I wonder if he tours with Brad Williams like all the time. So
I mean, Brad Williams is a headliner, man. I'm not sure.
Well, it doesn't matter. You could still hit him on the head with a spoon. Regardless if he is.
He's no Remy, but fair enough. Yeah, and then you've got other ones. Other ones that we talked about kind of on the legends list that are still out there sometimes, but it doesn't seem like it's necessarily kind of a full-time thing. But yeah, this one's looking a little light, but it's not just about LA. I probably could have put way more on there. But as for the current Austin comics, I think without going into kind of some lesser known acts and up and comers. I think I hit most of what they got here. So Ron White, absolute legend. Joe Rogan, he built an empire.
Owns a club.
Definitely tells jokes.
Tom Segura, hell yeah, he is definitely a headliner in his own. He's doing stadiums, arena tours. Roseanne Barr, legend. I don't know how often she's performing, but I know people are rooting for a comeback there. I know she's definitely performed at the Mothership.
She kills at the
Matt
CPAC
McCusker.
circuit.
Matt McCusker is awesome. He moved to Austin, I believe, when Shane did, but it looks like he has remained, even though Shane kind of moved away. But he's killing it over there. I've loved his last couple of specials. He's definitely up and coming. Sebastian, he might be the biggest comedian right now. I think maybe between him and Shane. I guess we can look into numbers at some point in the future. But he's definitely one of the most recognizable. He's way up there. Christina P, hell yeah. Bert Kreischer, apparently he lives there 6 weeks a year, so they're calling him a current Austin comic. Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Simpson. I enjoyed his special. I think he was the first to record at the Comedy Mothership, so good for him. And then they're including a bunch of Kill Tony regulars as they are headliners now. But Ari Mahdi, you are not familiar with Casey Rocket, are you, Charles?
I think I am. What does he look like?
Oh, he was in one of the arena shows.
I think I am.
Okay.
Long hair, right?
Yes, he is kind of a crazy fella, but in a different way. Yeah. Super dig that dude.
My cousin
Cam
Cam
Patterson.
too. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if your cousin counts because he's currently an SNL cast member, so he's at least part-time in New York, but I think he still does club dates. I'm not sure. It's been a minute.
Of the Pattersons you include on these damn lists, you got cousin Cam.
Hey, I'm not the current New York, so you don't know. You might be on it. Also, can you hold on a minute? I need to do something. But Tony Hinchcliffe, I can't deny him. He has this entire. I would view it kind of like the Whack Pack that Stern was able to put together. But they're this group of kind of misfits, but man, are they kind of fun to see all together. So Martin Phillips, he's an awesome dude. You definitely need to get more familiar with that guy.
Okay.
David Lucas, he's kind of a roast legend, but he's a headliner onto himself. William Montgomery, we're going to discuss both of those guys in a weird upcoming one. I don't know if you're familiar with Hans Kim. I think he might have taken kind of a step out before they did those arena shows. He might have been on there for a minute, but he's kind of interesting.
I've definitely seen
him. And then Aaron Belisle, he is an amazing comedian that I don't know if you... Oh, I should have included like Fiona Cawley, and there's a few other regulars on there, which I didn't include. But also Joe DeRosa moved there recently. He was always New York, and then he moved to LA for quite a few years, said he couldn't stand it, moved back to New York, and then he just recently moved to Austin. So good for him. But Joe DeRosa, very strong, very solid. I dug one of my favorite ones this year was I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. It's amazing. But current New York comics. So you've got just some heavy hitters up top. Louis C.K., Chris Rock, Dave Attell, Colin Quinn, Jerry Seinfeld. Every once in a while, but every time he does, it makes huge waves. Jim Norton, Todd Barry, Jim Gaffigan, Greg Fitzsimmons, Tim Dillon, Andrew Schultz. Ari Shaffir, I'm including him there, even though he's taking a year sabbatical, but he will come back to New York, supposedly. Sam Morril, Mark Norman, Joe List, Giannis Pappas, Stavros Halkias.
I've seen him.
So Adrian Iapolucci, Dan Soder, Robert Kelly, Nick Mullen, all of the Legion of Skanks, Are You Garbage?
Yes,
and then,
thank you for asking.
H. Foley, Kevin Ryan, they're awesome guys. But Legion of Skanks, Big J, Dave Smith, Louis J. Gomez. And then you've got a lot of Michael Shea, who, he is not only the Weekend Update anchor, but man, he is an amazing stand-up when he actually goes out and does it. I don't know. Would you consider that still being an active comedian if you're doing like a weekend update. You're writing topical jokes each week.
Yeah, this is where you and I get a little fuzzy on being a stage presence. It's writing. The other thing there is I don't know if it's exclusively them writing. They have other people writing for them as well. Um, I wouldn't consider it as far as comedy club environment, but I can understand where you would.
Hmm. Well, fair enough. I don't know how much Pete Davidson does it anymore, but almost every list includes him for some reason. So Pete Davidson,
I do
apparently.
know. I
still
do
streaming.
know that Colin Jost and Michael Che primarily write. They do write Weekend Update. I do know.
Exclusively?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
It's pretty much them. I saw that on the 50 thing, the like 11-hour 50 fucking whatever the hell that was on Peacock. I watched that in like 9 parts, but yeah, they primarily write all their stuff for their jokes and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I think a good portion of Norm's best jokes were a lot of them on SNL.
Yeah.
That confine kind of makes you use clever wordplay.
Yeah,
I
now the
kinda dig
fake news.
But yeah, you got Chris DiStefano, Mike Vecchione, Nick Griffin, Daniel Simonson, Sean Murphy, Hannibal Buress. I think he's still doing comedy there. And the list, some of them had him in LA. I'm not sure. Rosebud Baker, she had a pretty fun Netflix special, I think last year. John Mulaney, Wyatt. I've never actually heard his name pronounced. I always said Kanak, but I'm not sure if it's Sanak. But Lewis Black, Mike Birbiglia, Janine Garofalo, Kurt Braunholder. There are a lot of amazing comedians there, and none of this is getting to like the middling acts or any of those closers. Like there's a shitload. Like Godfrey should be on here. Man, there's a million people that just aren't listed on here. And I think that's the problem with New York is where do you stop? Are you only going to go with headliners? Like I think I only have headliners on here.
Is Jeselnik not one of the 3 cities?
So one list had him as LA, and then that was kind of all I could see. So I'm not sure. I don't believe he's New York. So I want to say he's LA, but I couldn't find it definitive on quite a few of these guys.
Okay.
And I don't know if it matters anymore. Like how often do you, if you're a touring comedian, unless you're like kind of working something out, and then you could do kind of a stint in a town. But even then, I don't know if you'd want to, week after week do the same bit in front of some of the same club. I don't know. It just kind of seems like working something out. You might want to go to multiple locations where it seems like, New York is just the place to do that. You just have so many readily available clubs.
Yeah, I feel like New York is still pretty sturdy, where Austin has kind of fragmented from LA, with the exception of Joe DeRosa, of course. It seems like
almost
Austin
100%.
Yeah, it seems like Austin's a bunch of LA transplants.
So I don't know if Ron White, I know he was the first one to make the move, but I don't know if he was permanently living in LA, but I'm pretty sure those blue collar guys would have had to have. Joe Rogan, LA guy, Tom Segura, LA guy, Roseanne Barr was LA for the longest time. Matt McCusker, I want to say they were living in LA when they moved to Austin. Sebastian was LA, Christina P was LA, Bert was LA, Tony was LA, Brian Simpson was LA. And then a good portion of the regulars just moved to Austin. They were from a bunch of random places.
Okay.
So you're right. The mainstay of the Austin scene does seem to be just a breakaway from LA.
Yeah, weren't they all like Comedy Store and Ice House
essentially
people? Yeah,
and that's why he's got a comedians only bar inside of the mothership. That's Mitzi's. It's based, it's named after Mitzi Shore, but you have to be a comedian or a guest of a comedian to be able to drink there, which is kind of fun. You've got this exclusive area inside of the club.
And then you have the green room, which is even more exclusive.
It is. You got to be a real friend to be in there, and security has to let you in. And even then, you can be asked to leave. We might want to look into a couple of situations of that in the near future. But
is it true that Andrew Callahan was in the green room and they asked him to leave?
I'm not sure. We should definitely look into that. I know Steph Toller had she had a story of that like the security had walked her in and then she said hi to Joe, and he like kind of gave a look, and then she was escorted out. So I don't know.
Wow.
It could be that, Joe was having a private moment back there and he said no one or something. Who knows what it is? Because she also tells a story of a guy who was harassed, but then when you hear like the comedian that harassed him, also on the Austin, I should definitely have Brian Holtzman. I believe he did move there full time, but
The
Holtzman
Callahan
is one of.
thing. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he's one of the craziest comedians ever. Like I think his whole act. So he was always the guy who would go up very last. So he would do like the 1 or 2 a.m. show, and it's just it's over the top. It is.
Ugh.
He puts MSK to shame with some of his premises and stuff. So it's just kind of weird to say like he's the one that harassed us. Like that's kind of his thing. But sorry, you were talking about the Andrew Callahan thing last.
So yeah, he did get asked to leave, but he explained the story on his YouTube channel. That's what it's saying here. But this is he asked if he could he asked comedian friend Lemire Lee if he could use the upstairs green room to relax away from fans. Lee warned him that Rogan is a bit territorial about the green room, but Callahan went up anyway, believing it would be fine since Rogan had previously reacted positively to his videos. In the green room, Callahan shook Rogan's hand and began making popcorn to establish myself as a member of the green room. But when he turned around, he heard Rogan yelling at the security guard, "Who let this fucking journalist in here? Kick him the fuck out."
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that's the situation from his point of view. But how many times have you like walked into a room and it's like, well, I've got to assert that I'm part of this crew by popping some popcorn?
Never.
I don't know.
That's
It's
never
kind of a
happened.
weird move.
That's kind of weird. Like, especially if the
Right.
comedian said, like, hey, he's kind of weird about people going up in there.
Right.
I wouldn't have done that, me personally.
Right.
I would not have done that. So it might be weird.
Yeah.
Like, there might even be a weirder, take from someone else that may have seen it. That's what he said. I just looked it up because I remember hearing about that and I couldn't remember where I heard it. Maybe it was just a random video on YouTube, but I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. But
it's
like
very
Ty
odd.
Rivera and Steph Toller have all kind of also reported that the green room seems to be very territorial and only
Yeah.
certain people are allowed there. So it seems like that part of the story, that seems to check out with what everybody else is saying. But I'm not sure if he was yelling or if it was just like, hey, get that. I don't know. I'm not going to do a Rogan impression,
Maybe it's just me, but like I would have just said, hey man, this is just for these people. You need to leave. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. I've never created something that big to the point where I would need something like that. And I'm not famous to the point where I would at any point, but to need to be away from people. So like I still have the advantage of just turning around and going in my house. So like, like I don't know. There's got to be more to it than just that. But I wouldn't put it past Rogan just to have like an all boys room.
Well, that's what it seems like where, like as a comedian, you're allowed at Mitzi's. So you're allowed at that bar, but so is like any other comedian or anything. So it's kind of like a super open green room, but
is this exclusive?
You might not have
it's weird.
a private one.
So Mitzi's is a bar that's separate from the actual club. They have 2 bars.
I
believe so.
It's a huge place. I believe it's like they have the one bar that overlooks like the stage area that's like above where people sit, and then they have it wraps around, and then there's another place that's like their area that leads down to the stage.
Gotham is huge.
Their own bar too.
One bar. New York Comedy Club had 2 rooms, 1 bar. The Stand.
Well, maybe it's just like a thing, like because he's honoring
you just let them in the green room. call me silly.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's all kind of reports, but it doesn't sound like it's the most open to like newer acts or anything like that. But hell, if you're doing a bunch of open mics, like should the open micers be allowed to? I performed tonight, so I'm coming in the green room. Like, I don't know. I understand like wanting some exclusivity, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know if you need multiple tiers of exclusivity. Like if you're a regular, if you're either a paid regular or non-paid regular, then you can be in the green room, and
Hmm.
open micers, you can sit at the regular bar, not the Mitzi's comedian exclusive bar.
I don't even
Yeah,
know if
it
I
kind of makes sense
honestly
to
would
me.
want to hang out with any of them in that green room. God only knows
Yeah,
what the fuck goes on in there. Jesus.
I was never one for
I
hanging
mean,
out anyway.
you can get some good tips, I'm sure. You know,
Yeah.
ice baths, where to get good elk meat. I'm sure there's something in there. I think the other thing that is a huge factor is like how many clubs there are. So
Mm,
I don't know a shitload of these clubs. I've been to
mm,
the store before. I definitely know of Laugh Factory, and Laugh Factory. There's like 4 versions
mhm,
of it. I think they've got it in like 4 cities along there. The Improv, of course, Ice House, Upright UCB Theater, and then the Brea Improv. There's a whole lot of other ones that are listed as comedy clubs specifically, not like bars or whatever. I know I've listened to a couple different podcasts that were at Dynasty Typewriter. I think it's more of like a stage that you can kind of rent out the room. But still, it's comedy. It's just a different type of comedy. Maybe it's not stand up every night.
The
But
UCB was my favorite sketch show. That was by far my favorite show.
yeah. So I mean, like, Flappers is kind of famous for having the funny name. But yeah, there's a lot of clubs that are out there, but I don't know. Even when you kind of look at what's available, some of these must be very small rooms. Some of them I'd never heard of. Just they happen to be listed with actual comedy club in their Google listing. But
Holy shit.
Austin's pretty close, man. These are all also listed just as comedy clubs, and most of them have comedy or comedy club in the name. But the real ones, you got Comedy Mothership, which it's the mecca. There, it is the start of this new thing. But then you got Sunset Strip, which is owned by Brian Redband, who's kind of the right hand man of Tony. He used to be the guy who would produce Joe Rogan's podcast. He was kind of in the Jamie chair, and then he got replaced by somebody who's better. But he has the Sunset Strip Comedy and Entertainment. Astor's Follies. I believe they also do like music there, but they are known for doing comedy there. Creek in the Cave is a real comedy club. I believe they moved from New York, and they're one of the only clubs that I know of to have moved from their location to Austin specifically. And then Vulcan Gas Company, they were kind of an everything venue, but it looks like after Tony was doing Kill Tony for I can't remember how many months there, they basically kind of switched to a comedy thing because of this boom. But yeah, and then there's just a ton of other ones that I've kind of never heard of, but a lot of them are kind of smaller rooms. I saw a lot of them said that they do open mics and stuff, but you do have more clubs than you'd think of. Could you have a headliner at all of these every night? No, I think they're a lot more of the feature and open mic type clubs, but still, there's a lot more clubs than I think people give Austin credit for. And then if you're going to go the surrounding area, there's a shitload more. But yeah, and then they've also got a shitload of bars that they do comedy at or do comedy nights at, which I don't know if that quite counts or whatever. So I kind of left those off of there. But then if you juxtapose that with New York, just man,
Gadoosh.
all of these are legit ones. They've got a million bars as well that do like comedy nights. Same thing with everything. I don't know why there's one box that is a square right there, but awesome. But yeah, you got the Comedy Cellar, the Stand Up New York, New York Comedy Club, and they've got 3 different versions of it: Gotham Comedy Club, Comedy Village, Stand Up New York, Village Underground, the Comic Strip, the West Side Comedy Club, the Comedy Shop, Rodney's, Sesh Comedies, Caveat, Asylum New York. And then there's just a ton more. And if you're going to count like what's also available as like sometimes rooms or those ones that you can rent out, I think like Grove 42 is definitely one of them. And there's another one that I can't think of the name of, but they get kind of rented out for like podcasts and live tapings a lot. Just man, there's a lot of rooms. And then there's so many more. Just it looks like Austin is slowly creeping up on what New York has to offer. But man, I guess I hadn't thought that there would be nearly as many in what, like 5 years. I'm sure there
Well,
was a bit of a scene before, but
wasn't
this is a
there?
boom.
Didn't this have to do with COVID? Because I know New York was
Yeah,
not open during COVID, so people were just like,
100%.
"Fuck it, let's open in Austin. At least we can
Well,
function."
and I think it killed some of the classics as well. Caroline's. I don't think it made it through COVID. And
Oh, is that
there's
true?
a
See,
well, they weren't open when I went there, and what I saw on the internet, they said COVID. They didn't make it through it. So I don't know.
oh wow, I didn't know that. That's nuts.
Yeah, and there's some like real classic ones that aren't on here. If you go like classic all-time rooms, man, the New York club list is just going to be huge. But yeah, it's just kind of I would have thought that somebody with like 5 decades of lead on Austin, it would just be a dead no way that they even come close. But man, it's getting there. Like they're not
Mm.
nearly as big, but I'm just saying they're kind of biting at their heels, and it's only 5 years now. This could be like a boom bust situation, but man, it's kind of booming right now. There's a lot of clubs. It's not just
I
those
would be
ones, but
scared to do comedy in Austin, especially like the life that comedians live. Imagine like
I'd be
going to jail in Texas.
all right, fair enough.
Fuck that.
I wasn't thinking that comedy would lead to jail. I was just
Well,
thinking
I'm
like
just
I'd
saying
be
there's comedians
afraid to
that
do it in
have,
New York, man.
that have drug problems and stuff like that, and there's
Oh yeah,
you get caught with a tiny bit of cocaine in New York, they're like they just take it from you and you leave. You get caught, you might be doing fucking 30 years.
That's one of those benefits
enough.
where you want to get in tight there at the mothership, because
There you
something
go,
tells me.
You just pull out your thumb with
Yeah.
Rogan's face on it. See, I'm part of it.
there's definitely smelling salts in the
There's
green
definitely
room up
smelling
there, which
salts.
it's kind of awesome. It's a quick wake me up. Fair enough. I hadn't thought of it like that. I was just thinking, do you want these legends seeing like how green you are to comedy, how shitty your set
Oh, I
currently?
I don't know.
For me, New York would intimidate the shit out of me, but so would going and doing like Kill Tony or something. Like,
But yeah,
my God, you could have millions of eyes on you. It's not just these legends in the room. Just I
Dude,
don't know.
that's why, like, I think I've been breaking out. I've been watching all this shit, and I'm getting like this secondhand anxiety. Like I had
There's
this,
nothing but anxiety from that.
I had this cold sweat. Like, am I bothered by this because I wouldn't do it, or am I bothered by this because if I did do it and fail, like, how would I feel at that moment? And the point afterwards is like, how long have you been doing this? A lot longer than 3 years.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'd feel. Me personally, I probably wouldn't give a shit, just because I don't really care about anything, to be honest. But like I understand people's like nervousness. Like the only time I could really say I was nervous in front of people was like the first time I did anything with a band. Like that was the first time. But then after that, I was like, what do I care? Like I don't care. It's me. I'm doing this. Like, and then meeting guys that like I thought were like they were like my idols, like death metal idols, and I met them, and then I would go out and do the thing, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like if I bombed on Kill Tony, I'd fucking just be like, all right, peace, see you later, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
I'd give a
think
shit
I would.
personally.
I
don't think I could ever stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't care.
know.
like the
I know I wouldn't be
silence,
good at it.
watching them and just having silence. It's like, oh, not being in control. Like, do something else. This is going horribly. Please change this.
I might actually love that.
Oh no.
Dude, I'm a weird guy, man. That shit don't bother me. It just doesn't.
I think it's quite the opposite with me. I've crafted,
You're a comedian though. Like you've done comedy. Like,
but like that's the point. Like if with my history, if I did that, and
that's
they were
what
like,
you
need to stop.
That might be different. I don't know. Like if I just went up there, what's your experience? I did one open mic one night. That's the only
Beats
time
the
I
hell
ever
out of
did
some of their
anything.
stuff.
I don't think there's like video footage of that though, and I don't think there's
No,
the
if there
potential for
was, I mean,
millions to see it.
yeah, but dude, like, I don't.
Lucky.
I just don't think that way. Me personally, I just don't. Like, you guys, dude. Everybody can make fun of me. It doesn't, like, I look at life very differently than most people. Like, I have my own little thing going on here. If it doesn't affect that sphere of stuff, I could just go boop.
I envy you.
Yeah,
But my brother now,
that would be awesome.
My brother's the complete opposite. My brother, like, he would love to do that type of thing, like comedy, like, and he would be in his head so much to where, I mean, like, he's called me many times when he's had to do like talking points. Like, I always call them TED Talks because it's basically the same thing in a theater talking to people. Like, I have to do those things for work. I had to talk in front of people like generals and colonels, and I just walked up there like, "Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? How you doing?" Didn't say that, but like, that's the attitude that I took.
Should have.
Oh, I mean, I like having a job, but I still took that same type of attitude with it. But yeah, I could see that though. I could see that being a bothersome thing.
I don't know. I think, well, Charles, you're the expert. I'm an outsider here, but I would hope that you would like build up a presence in a local market and then come there as some sort of heavy hitter. You wouldn't want to necessarily try to attack New York as you're just getting up for the first time, getting a mic in your hand. The first, like, I think first impressions matter. But am I wrong, sir?
The New York Comedy Club, that's where I first did stand up. I don't know. It was one of the shittier small rooms. It's about the size of a subway car, but it's intimidating. But at the same time, you got to start somewhere. I'd rather find out the hard way from New York City than somehow be I don't know, erroneously coaxed in fucking Milwaukee or some shit.
You don't want to start at Howlers in Pittsburgh.
Right.
I mean, all right, to each their own. I would want to build up some chops and then hit it, but fair enough. The one thing that I wouldn't do is go to Kill Tony if you weren't ready for that. Like, that just seems like
that's witnessing that. Like, why would you? Again, it feels like American Idol shit where it's like, I think I'm funny. Let me go, fucking play my lottery card here. And
That's exactly what it feels like. 100%.
Well, I think those were the kind of the three versions of oh, thank you. I think those were kind of the three versions of what I was thinking, how you'd measure them, so to speak. Legendary current comedians and the actual clubs. And I gotta say, they've got more options of clubs in Austin than I think they get credit for. And the current roster is they've got a lot of heavy hitters, but
yeah, there's a lot more than I thought, like, club wise. There's a lot more there than I would have thought.
Yeah.
And it's
That's pretty
basically
big.
fracturing
That's a
LA
big list.
and taking a huge portion of it over. I think LA would have had way more of a shot against it. While they wouldn't necessarily have more clubs or anything like that. Man, that list would have been like nothing but killers. Essentially, all those names would be on there. Well, maybe a couple wouldn't be on there. But
Do you think that's like kind of what the whole reason for the Austin boom is? Like, a lot of those guys saw what Rogan was doing, but they saw a place that could be taken over. Like, and starting
think
their
so.
own thing. Yeah. Okay.
From what I understand, like, Ron White just always kind of loved it down there, so he kind of convinced everybody as kind of the initial move. But yeah, man, I think COVID had a lot to do with it. It was just a little bit. You could actually get stage time there, and a lot of people were itching to get on stage anywhere.
Sean Sheridan brings up a very good point. He says, I imagine if you can survive a New York crowd, you can survive anything. As the saying goes, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And that's pretty true. That's pretty, like, because that's where, like, so when I lived in New Jersey, that's where my uncle and my aunt live. They live, in Queens, in Flushing, or whatever the hell that's called.
Hey.
That's, so like that. And my aunt she talks about that, like, you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. That's how she talks. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, and there has to be something behind that saying, because that's where back whenever I was a kid, at least when I was introduced to stand-up, that's where most of those things were coming out of. The shows like Comic Strip Live and a lot of that stuff. There was that or LA.
Yeah,
So,
when I was doing it, I would go to the city and work stuff out, and then oddly enough, I would go get paid on the road. I couldn't get paid in the city, but I could work as a road comic, and I was okay with that. And every now and again, I'd come back to the city and see what this new material feels like. And New York is they're very honest. The New York crowds. If something doesn't work, you're going to know it doesn't work. But at the same time, if it does work, you feel like you've earned it more because they're honest.
So maybe that does benefit to kind of what Gray's saying. Maybe like you go out and you cut your chops and then go back.
Right.
Maybe, and at least you find out what works and what doesn't.
Right.
Take that mental note. Okay, that one worked. That one worked. Because like where I live, like Pittsburgh, there's only, I think we have the Improv, and like the Laugh Factory.
Yeah, I don't know.
And a couple of other that's like it. And then a bunch of little teeny ones.
If you're a local comic in Pittsburgh and you're just doing those two rooms back and forth, you're not really getting a gist of different crowds. New York, it's like constantly tourism. So like you're getting this flavor of something.
Yeah, because you could just go into Pittsburgh and make fun of Ohio, and they're like, rivers. You get it? Yeah.
There's a lot of people who do that though as their road act. Like as they come in, it's like, okay, and who's your guys' rival? There's a lot of that stuff. Like it's kind of the cheap way to do it. You can kind of still do that without knowing anything about the area.
I did the opposite.
Did you?
I made fun of State College, Pennsylvania. They didn't like that very much.
No. But you know what would be funny? If you went back there now and you did it and you made fun of the Joe Paterno era, they'd have to sit there and shut up. They'd have to shut the fuck up. That's what they'd have to do.
Yeah. I think no matter what, all three of these places have the most clubs per capita out of anyone that I could find. Nice. I tried to go with a bunch more. Like I looked in Chicago. I didn't have every single one of them, but it seems like there's some options there. But man, it's kind of nothing. Like New York is the one that can kind of do that, and that is kind of a reason why a lot of the serious comics kind of go there, and that is kind of the mecca.
I mean, if I don't think you could ever COVID and still be that strong. I mean, as liberal as they were with the sanctions that they took towards it, that should show you like how strong it is there with comedy in the club.
I can't believe Caroline's didn't cut it. That's wild.
That's Caroline's Comedy Hour, man. That was such a good show.
Right.
It was such a good show.
Just because it's in Times Square, I would assume the rent is ridiculous.
Probably.
I know they've got another one in Times Square, but they've got a few. Anyway, there were Barkers in Times Square when I was there. So they've still got comedy there, but
permanently closed.
From what I understand.
Holy shit.
Yeah, from what I understand, Caroline's didn't make it, but they're still, I can't remember. It's one of the ones. It was on that list, but
do you want this up
bringing
here,
it back up?
Gray?
Sure.
Because I think it'll automatically play. I forgot to totally do the give you guys permission thing, so make sure I do that.
I think we're good.
Make sure
but yeah, we're not the only ones who have kind of talked about this situation. So yeah, these kind of recent podcasts kind of came to mind when you kind of brought this up.
All right.
On Twitter, somebody was like, "Oh, you should do Skankfest in Austin. The best comics are there." So then I replied, quote tweeted him, "The best comics are in New York, bozo."
You called him a bozo.
Called him a bozo.
Good one. That's good.
Bob Kelly.
Bozo's a fucking hurtful one.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so sorry, this is from the Regs. It's Regs with a Z. But yeah, you've got Louis J. Gomez, Robert Kelly, Joe List, and Dan Soder. It's a great podcast, but he just happened to bring up that somebody on Twitter was hyping up Austin, and he had to kind of take a little shot at him.
Is this Louis J. Gomez, former beau of Natalie Cuomo? Louis J. Gomez?
It is. Current creator of Skankfest, one of the main Legion of Skanks. He is part of the triumvirate, if you will. But yeah, it's
Ooh,
he's the point guard of podcasting, if you will.
triumvirate. It's good. It's an underutilized word.
It's for a
The LZO.
non-cuss word. It
Yeah.
hurts.
It's a
Yeah,
hurt.
it calls him a bozo. They start thinking about what they did to be called a bozo.
Bozo.
Tony goes, he quotes that and then goes, name them.
Why would he say name them?
And then he goes, Attell, ... then ... then this face.
Is that his face?
That
I'm just saying, Attell though. Like, do you need to have more names than Attell on there? Like, for me, I don't know if he's not on my Rushmore of comedy. Like, I don't know, he is as close as it gets. But I think Attell is one of my goats.
Just the
Emoji?
fact that
Yeah,
Hinchcliffe
and
could
the
only
American
name one
flag.
person.
Yeah. Then he said, I love you. We bust each other's balls about this. But then I wrote, Attell, Soder, Mark Norman, Joe List, Robert Kelly, Big J, Schultz, Louis C.K., Chris D, Are You Garbage Guys, Ari Shafir, Colin Quinn, Norton, Sam Morrill, Todd Barry, Jim Gaffigan, Giannis Stavros, Nick Mullen, Tim Dillon, Adrian Appalucci, Jordan Jensen, Nikki Glazer, Michael Che, Pete Davidson, to name a few.
It's
Oh, I
so
forgot
cool that
Nikki
you got to a
Glazer.
point where you're like, I need to name women and black people.
But you're
Should have definitely included Nikki Glazer. I can't believe I didn't. But yeah, she's a viable headliner, man.
Also, you didn't put Chris Rock, Louis C.K.
He did.
I
He
did
put
put
Louis
Louis.
C.K.
But no, I
Chris-
didn't.
Dave should. He put
Jerry
Dave.
Seinfeld.
Then I said to name a few others. This isn't even
It's still
talking
Rock,
about
dude.
the mid-level guys that are actual killers, like hundreds of them. All of the young bucks who followed Shane and Rogan to Austin couldn't get stage time in New York City.
Whoa.
Who you got? Then I was like, then there's unknown killers that like Greer Barnes or Mike Britt that will literally be impossible for anyone in Austin to follow. There's like 100 of those guys, the Godfreys, the Mike Yards. I was like, if you're talking about pound for pound, there's no talent pool like New York. This is off the top of my head. Austin has you, Shane, Rogan, Tom, ... Roseanne. It's thinning out.
Well, they're all from LA.
Snap!
You
back
put your,
to reality.
did you put your phone down? Or I gotta air my hands.
Was your
out.
phone?
But yeah, I don't know. There's only a couple more. He damn near had the whole list of headliners, but I don't know. Again, just hey, what up, Warren? Yeah, it's just kind of crazy to me that you'd have such a big list from New York, and those are current guys. And again, he's not
They
choosing any of
left
the
off
mid.
Schaub. They left off the big poppy, the gringoest of all poppies.
Is he in Austin? I kind of assume he is, since Callan's kind of in the crew. But are those guys LA? I don't know.
Or Slav can't get stage time at the mothership.
I didn't include either of those guys on either of those lists.
He
I don't
recorded
think,
Gringo
unfortunately.
Poppy in Texas. It was Dallas,
sure.
but I mean, it was Texas.
But yeah,
Too hot. You had
He goes, there's Ron White, Rogan, Segura, Roseanne, McCusker, Sebastian, Christina P., Bert, 6 weeks a year, Hinchcliffe, he
Yeah.
called himself Hinchcliffe, Brian Simpson, and then the Kill Tony regulars. Literally, again, bigger draws than everyone you listed.
not
he
true.
switched the thing up. He
Draws?
went bigger draws.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Then funny.
yeah, you just pointed that out too. I noticed how
Yeah.
you happen to hear that instead of better comedians. But
yeah.
I guess that is the thing that we should have established at the beginning. Like, is it what is a more profitable scene? Like, what is a better scene, or is it
I don't cash
literally
paychecks from them.
who have
so
the
I don't-
better comedians?
Yeah, but like Tony Hinchcliffe is huge into wrestling, so he speaks that way a lot. Like a
For
lot.
sure, but
He's a heel.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
different, that's a different argument.
Do you know what Mike Britt could do in a minute on Kill Tony?
Also, are these guys bigger draws than Mark and Sam?
No.
Mark's doing
and
multiple
Sam are
shows at
doing-
the
I don't know.
Beacon.
Yeah.
Ari's doing multiple at the Beacon.
Sam's doing Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though.
He
All
has
those-
probably like
and he beat the shit out of himself for saying that way. There was like a 3-minute intermediate thing. He's like, why did I say it like that? So
all
yeah,
those
he did
people are
address
from L.A.
He named 7 people.
But they're all from L.A. They made their bones in L.A. Most of those people.
Did he
correct?
also
Street fight.
leave DeRosa off the list? Because that's kind of hilarious.
oh, did he leave DeRosa off the list?
He left DeRosa off the
Oh.
list.
DeRosa's-
And DeRosa's great.
DeRosa's in
DeRosa's
New York.
incredible.
He's New York. DeRosa's New York.
Yeah.
Oh well,
This is awesome.
I'm gonna let Joe know that his best friend Tony left him off the list. They say in LA right now, they're like, yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah, they're like, we got Andy,
Santino.
Andy
and
Dick
Bobby
is
Lee.
outside doing crack.
Andy Dick lives in the street, we think.
They got Bill
LA well,
Burr,
they-
Santino.
Yeah, they got Santino, Bill Burr.
Bobby Lee.
Sebastian, I thought.
Well, Sebastian does live there, but he might have moved
Sure.
to Austin.
LA's got a lot of good comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Who else?
Major cities are just
Oh,
gonna have a
Fahim.
lot of people. Fahim's
Well,
great.
Lewis
Jim-
was like wrote something
So yeah, like it's kind of crazy, but I don't see them pulling a bunch of names that we weren't kind of able to. I don't know. Even Tony Hinchcliffe, who you think would have his like fingers on the pulse, he just listed Tony regulars.
And he said draw. Draw does.
Yeah. Well, he does have a profitable tour, which, kind of Last Comic Standing had things like that too, like the Killers of
Yeah.
Last Comic Standing or whatever. He does have a the Killers of Kill Tony tour.
Yeah, popular does not mean quality though.
True.
Like the most popular music is AI in some cases.
Some of it's great, man.
I
How dare you
agree.
mock the robot?
Like I'm sure a sellout at Carnegie is a lot more money than a sellout at the mothership.
I agree.
Ooh. Maybe. It depends
Well,
which room and it depends what night. Because
just the metrics of New York versus Texas, dude.
I think you're probably right, but I don't know, man. Some of them I've seen quite exquisite prices for their box office.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, New York is a completely different animal. Like, when you can go to Texas and get cigarettes for $10, and then you go to New York and they're $28 a pack, I'm pretty positive,
enough.
like, you're paying way more just to do anything.
Yep.
You're right,
know.
and that is the hoitiest of toitiest places to be. I
Right.
get you. I get you. I think you're probably right, but all right. Now we're going from the regs. So again, we've got Joe List, but now it's Tuesdays with Stories. So it's him and Mark Norman, and they had so Mark hadn't been able to weigh in on this, but and you get
Mark's
kind of
hilarious.
Mark's. I love me some Mark Norman.
He's
About
funny.
New York, the best comedy city, and then he quote tweeted it being like, "Ever hear of Austin?" And then Lewis was like, "Are you out of your mind? Like, it's not even close."
Good.
And then Tony wrote back, "Who do you got? Dave Attell, ... and who?"
Oh, geez, are we doing this now?
So, and he was like, "We got Rogan, me, Segura, whatever,
Gillis,
and Gillis, sort of,
Ryan Simpson."
And yeah, he like named that, and then of course Lewis was like, Dave Attell, Mark Norman, Sam Morrill, Joe List, Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Louis C.K., Jim
Colin
Gaffigan, Colin Quinn. I mean,
Nick Griffin, Mike Vecchione. I mean, you can go on for days.
Daniel
Vecchione.
Simonson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like you go top to bottom. We talked about this on the reg, but it's like our Bobby Kelly, like our Dan Soder, our bottom guys are like killer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people that aren't even working.
Well, that is weird to also consider some of those guys bottom guys. It's like, man, all of those would be killer, and I would put them up against most of those LA guys, and I'd put them up against like any of the Kill Tony guys. I think they would have wider appeal. I think they've learned to handle what would you call it? A not so favorable crowd. Where I don't know if you're getting that at like the
Plus,
mothership.
their joke crafting is just better. If they feel like real comedians, like sometimes when I watch the better guys from Austin, they're definitely comedians, but sometimes I just don't like. Maybe I'm just out of the loop of why certain things are funny. But like when I hear jokes about like being in the freaking shower with your son and him telling you have a big dick, like I don't know, that's just not funny to me. Like the implications of it aren't funny. Like, don't say anything because we could get in trouble. Like, oh, okay, that's not really funny. Like, why is that funny?
Yeah. I find any subject could be funny.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. It's all subjective.
think
It is.
100%.
Yes.
That can't get spots are amazing.
Yeah, Sean Murphy's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, all these people. So it was just, you're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I guess they have Ron White, of course.
Sure,
and,
he's a legend.
And then Lewis was like, the best comics there moved from New York because they couldn't get spots in New York.
Wow, there we go.
And then Tony didn't even mention Joe DeRosa, which is also hilarious. Like, you left off DeRosa?
Well, he was a New York guy, technically.
I know, but I think we're just going by who lives where right now.
Right.
But it was an interesting little back and forth.
I mean, Louis lives here, by the way.
That's what I'm saying,
You know, like Louis, Rock, Attell, Quinn alone is like, that's a win.
Todd Barry, we haven't even mentioned. It's just, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. And look, they put something together out there. They got a great club and a nice little scene. But come on. You can't fuck with the big app.
Get real, baby.
What's New York's take on Austin?
Oh, it's a punchline for sure.
Really?
I like Austin. I like
yeah.
the mothership's great, and
You have to say that. Yeah, really.
I don't know. I find that hilarious how he can definitely say that to people's faces. I don't know if many of the guests would just say like, yeah, your scene's a punchline. But I don't know. I love me some Mark Norman.
He's Mark Norman. He can say whatever he wants.
For sure.
Fucking great, man.
But you'd think, maybe Bert would want to kind of defend the scene or something. But yeah, here's kind of that exchange.
Shane's down there. It's I like Brian Simpson. I like I like all the guys, but
the extreme move out there was ridiculous.
I would never move there.
I think the move out there was ridiculous.
I think
100 people moving there to try to get one of 8 spots available at Mothership.
And they keep saying, "Hey, it's a boom, a comedy boom," but it's one club.
One club, and the Creek and the Cave.
There's
Creek and the Cave and
Seems to be more.
That's it. Everything else is a bar.
Oh.
But I say go there.
Sure.
I say go there. Don't come to New York.
So this was a few months ago. I'm not 100% positive that all of these wouldn't just be bars in his opinion, but every one of them on like their pages have an actual stage up there, and then they actually are listed as a comedy club. So I'm not sure. I don't think they have as established clubs as New York has by any means, but I think they got a little bit more than they're given credit for.
Still
But that was something burning with Bert Kreischer. I thought it was awesome to see him literally just tell him like, no, your scene's a joke to his face. But yeah, there was kind of no pushback. Just his whole answer was which I don't know. That's kind of interesting. But again, he's only there like 6 weeks a year. But yeah, so Nick Mullen, who's the dude on the right, this is on At the Gates podcast, which recorded at Skankfest in New Orleans a couple weeks ago. But yeah, he used to be an Austin resident. So I guess he recently had a conversation with Tony.
Oh, yeah, way before.
Have you been back to Austin since then?
I have, yeah. It's not, it sucks now. I saw Tony Hinchcliffe the other day, and I was trying to say that to him in a nice way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it used to be, it was a cheap, fun town. He's like, yes, totally. It's awesome.
Oh, and the video is messed up on their podcast.
It was. It was cool. I mean, it was a cheap place to live, and he's like, greatest place on earth. Love it. I'm like, yeah, but it's different now.
In a better way. It improved.
Yeah.
It got stronger.
Yeah, I'm like,
all right.
Nick Mullen's a weird guy.
But I'll be like, I was like, yeah, people from LA came and ruined it. And he's like, yeah. Where did you move from? That is the funny thing though about like the LA comics that moved to Austin, and they're like they want to get away from LA, but it's like you've now turned this into
You turned that into
you turned it into LA
with no ocean.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and demanding bums.
Yeah.
Have you been there? Have you fucked
Yeah,
around?
I've been there twice. It's fun to like do comedy and get up, but to hang out and be around the people is the fucking worst.
Oh yeah,
It is worse. I'd rather hang out on McDougal Street in New York.
The other thing was at one point.
Damn. Yeah, McDougal Street is not a great location, but
Well,
yeah.
This way, dude. The fact that all these comedians who aren't from that area are saying this, and the only people really defending it are the people who make their bones there.
It's super well off too.
Right.
I was gonna say they're the insiders though, and man, they're making a success of it. So why would you say no? The success is not correct or not worth it.
But it feels like it's the only like he said, the people that are very successful there, people that they're like, yeah, it's all right to do comedy there, but I'm not gonna stay there.
Okay.
That's just very. I'm just saying it's very telling. It's like, yeah, you would go there to do your show, but having to actually be around the people that are there, no, thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, fair enough. Yes, that's definitely a factor in it. All right, so I hear you. It is a different thing, and perhaps there's a rarefied group that is allowed in there, but it's making waves in the comedy community.
For sure. Oh, I'm not doubting that at all. Not doubting that
in a
at
way
all.
I never anticipated. I never thought that I would see this coming up, but
No.
I'll let him kind of explain. So there's 2 podcasts over like the last 3 days or something like that. It's really weird. Just see how these events kind of turned out.
He goes, Sam was like, I love New York. I'm gonna die on this island. I want to die.
That's what I did
Oh yeah,
too.
I'm like, just so you know, I'm dying on this island or a hotel room.
Really?
It's out there.
That's really good. I
Yeah.
never thought of that.
'Cause
I never had that problem, but
Yeah.
I could never leave this island either.
Yeah.
Epstein said the same thing.
Oh, Kill Tony lost another good Kill Tony line. Where are the shades? Can I get Mark Shades in here, please?
I never thought in a million years I would hear Seinfeld talking about like, that's a Kill Tony type joke. Man, that it seems weird to me that like these 2 worlds are somehow colliding. But
isn't that
sorry,
deeper? Isn't that deeper because Seinfeld has been to the island?
I didn't even
creating a thing?
realize if he is. I am not aware. I know I haven't seen the files.
I'm confusing the wrong New Yorker. It's Woody Allen. My apologies.
I was going to say, I've got issues with Jerry, but he's a legend. My issues don't have to deal with that island. It's kind of
you're right. Right.
Anyway, a tangent. But I just never thought that I would ever see or hear Jerry Seinfeld knowing what Kill Tony is, let alone knowing that, like, you should wear sunglasses on Kill Tony and knowing the type of humor for it. Just, man. But yeah, I love me some Mark Normand. He always likes throwing those little ones in there that just, they get me. But yeah, then hearing other comedians talk about Seinfeld knowing Kill Tony is just strange. It's had that much impact, though.
Hey,
How about
wow. He knows Kill Tony.
He knows Kill Tony.
That's
How funny.
amazing.
And I said, you should do the show. And he was like, I don't want to go to Austin. I said, what if it comes here? He goes, baby.
Wow.
How insane would that be, having fucking Seinfeld sitting there shitting on Red Band and fucking with, some retarded kid?
Seinfeld referencing Kill Tony is, I didn't have it on my bingo card, as the kids say.
Worlds are colliding. And he goes, put the shades on. He hates the shades.
That's fucking fascinating.
Fascinating.
That he made a Kill Tony reference.
But the guy loves comedy, so it's just
Right.
that's comedy to him. That's comedy. The Apatow movie, Kill Tony, whatever. YouTube.
He might not be as comedy snob as you. It's comedy. It's not stand-up comedy. I think there's a distinction there. Jokes are jokes, sir. I like the jokes. No? You don't think so?
Seinfeld loves comedy, huh?
Well, he seems to be purist at it. He seems to like literally have the, what do you call that? The grit and the stick-to-itiveness to supposedly like sit down for like 8 hours a day and write. Like I don't know a comedian who does that. I don't know a musician who does that. The ones that do are like crazy, that treat it like a job. There's a reason why he's on a level.
When was the last time Seinfeld had a special?
An actual special. It's been a minute.
3 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was
I actually-
2022, I believe.
Oh, that recently. Okay.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure it was. Hold on.
I was on the same bill as Seinfeld.
Were you? Oh, that is awesome. So he opened for you?
Technically, yes. It was a a showcase, but he went on before I did. So Seinfeld opened for Charles Patterson. That is
Well, how did
technically
you open?
accurate.
Did you say, "What's the deal with Seinfeld opening for me"?
That was like fucking 30 comedians. It really.
Fair enough. But that's I don't know. I guess I hadn't anticipated that he would know the world of Austin. I just assumed he's in his own world of stand-up
Yeah.
appreciation. But he's at where he is playing venues like Carnegie Hall and stuff. Like he is kind of doing the
2020 was the 23 Hours to Kill, and then 2022 was the unaired thing that I guess he's redoing or something like that. That's what it says. He was supposed to have one in 2022.
Years, but
yeah,
man,
so
it didn't feel like it's
2020.
been 5 years.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't think he's has the tenacity or whatever that like Mark Norman does. Like Mark Norman's crazy. Supposedly he literally goes to like 5 shows a night and he's like barely making it from one to the other. Just man, that dude wants to be on stages and that's awesome.
You know what you could be thinking of, Gray? Remember Seinfeld did write and direct that Unfrosted thing where it was him talking about
I love me and right, I'm on camera. I can't just bring up my Pop-Tart.
the Pop-Tart
What can I say?
type deal where he did put like stand-up jokes in between the stuff. But it wasn't
and it's based off of one of his old stand-up bits
stand-up
anyway,
specials from 98.
which is
Yep.
so weird in a way, but I don't know, just the idea to remake an 80s movie but with even older references now, I don't understand the thought process. But
I don't.
Are you implying that it was a little stale?
Waka
the
waka
Pop-Tart might have
waka.
been stale, and why would you ever get the unfrosted one? So many choices were made. But yeah, there's only a couple extra little clips on this thing.
Yeah, he's got to know what's going on out there. I mean, I guess if you're a fan of, you're following comedy, it would be crazy to not be aware of Kill Tony.
I guess so.
But the idea of him sitting in his house and being like, all right, let me throw on this show and see what it's all about. And it's just, Jet Ski Johnson and the band and whatever, drum off.
Right. A guy with crutches, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Did you ask him?
Comedy movies are back.
That would be crazy to me. I guess I hadn't actually thought of him like sitting there watching each episode and all the bits. Like, especially I never would have thought of Seinfeld watching like a Mexican drum off, but and they're fun when they break out.
Doesn't he do like
Kill Tony?
Doesn't he do like comedians in cars with coffee, whatever the fuck?
Yes.
True.
I think behind the scenes when they're producing guests, they're like, this Kill Tony thing's kind of a big deal. So he has to be aware of it, if only for that reason.
Fair enough. He definitely would have had to have his finger on the pulse when he was doing that. But
right.
Maybe some of it was him. Maybe he
Where's the
enjoys
pulse?
seeing what's big and good. But this is Matt and Shane's secret podcast. And they happen to bring up that comedy's back.
True. In a big way.
Pendulum swung. Pendulum's fully swung.
Maybe too far. Head down to the mothership, you go, oop.
Yeah.
Pendulum's maybe it swung a little too far. Not everyone has to say it.
True.
Every single set.
They come
So Shane chose not to live down there. He has kind of removed himself from the Austin scene. He still goes and visits, but it sounds like from every angle people are saying that it does seem kind of like an exclusive club or whatever. There's a type of comedy there, but
well, yeah. Plus, you have to look like that. You have to be high as giraffe vaginas.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know. Even Joe and Tony kind of had this to say on an episode of Joe Rogan's podcast.
And they do like a weekend, then they go do Kill Tony, and then they'll do like one of our shows. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I always ask now during the commercial break where I get to talk directly to the Kill Tony audience, and I ask, how many of you live in Austin, Texas? Make some noise. How many of you flew in just for this? And it's always a bigger pop.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
It's like this city's become like a vacation destination for stand-up.
Yeah. Apparently the music on there is kind of loud. I will definitely lower the volume next time. But I don't know. That is kind of a crazy thing, though. I don't think anyone was looking at LA as like the comedy destination.
Hold on. You're
thinking so? Vacation destination?
Who's having that conversation, though? It's the most well-off person in Austin and the second most well-off person in Austin. Of course, they're going to make it sound like it's a big deal.
I'm just saying, like, if they're asking the comedy club, like, how many of you are from Austin? And it's only like so big of a pop. And then it's always a bigger pop for how many of you are from out of town.
Sir, the president of the United States talks about how great the economy is. And
true.
That is not accurate.
I'm not saying it's empirical data or anything like that. I would like a recount. But I am saying that, that's pretty good data that would imply like, hey, maybe they were successful in doing that. I've been to LA a whole bunch of times. True, but
does that come
that's
from
who they're
being
talking
a
about.
draw, though, as opposed to
very good point.
Well, I think it shows that perhaps he was successful in what he's trying to do. Which,
no, for sure.
if we're talking about what's becoming a hub,
those two
in like
men,
5 years,
are the,
Yes,
like the most successful in that city. Of course, as far as
100%.
comedy is concerned. Yes.
100%. But man, people are actually choosing their vacation to either go be on Kill Tony or to try and see a show at the mothership. I don't know
Yeah.
of too many people who are like, you know what? We need to go down to Brea Improv. Let's plan a trip to California so that we can go to the Improv.
I think if you're like a comedy freak, Austin's where you go. But
well,
if you want something to do, like, hey, let's go visit the movie set. There's LA's a thing to do. In New York, let's go to Times Square. Let's fucking Statue of Liberty. Those are like tourist spots where Austin's like you're a fucking comedy freak.
I've always used
For sure.
Texas as a Passover because I got to get me some barbecue while I'm there. Like I have
Oh, yeah.
to. I have to. But like I don't know if I could personally stay there for longer than 2 days. And I've been there quite a few times.
I think it's a really fun city. I have not experienced like the
I've never
mothership
been to
and all that
Austin.
stuff.
I can't say that. So I don't know Austin. I just meant Texas in general. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've never been to Austin yet. I have not been there.
I want to go there. I thought about doing a trip like that, but I don't know. It seems like an awful lot for that. But they've got a bat cruise that's also a big thing in Austin. You go on a cruise boat, they bring you under a bridge, and there's like all these bats.
If you go to Austin, I will come with you. I will meet you down there, and we can go see a show, and I'll pay.
They
for
also
it.
do like South by Southwest down there a bunch. I was thinking of doing
You can come too,
hopefully a mixed thing, but yeah, I was
Sir,
hoping to check off a bunch of boxes.
You
but I
represented
gotta be honest.
Fantastic Fest, sir. Fantastic Fest was in
I was
Austin
going to
as well,
say, and Fantastic Fest is another amazing festival that they have there.
which we did work for.
True. Go see. There's Apopheniacs. It's a movie that's coming out soon. It's Tarantino-esque. It's scary, and it is the future we live in. This horrible future that we are currently living in. But yeah,
What
agreed.
type of Tarantino? Since we just did our Tarantino list, I don't know if I want to go see what you like as
feels very
Tarantino.
Pulp Fiction-y, but it
Okay.
does kind of have elements that are a bit over the top. So
Is it
maybe
Jackie
a dusting
Brownish?
of Death Proof. No, there's no subtlety and
I'm
beauty
just
like
messing
Jackie
with you.
Brown.
I'm just messing with you, man.
But yeah, all I'm saying is, there wasn't a comedy vacation destination, and there might be now. Which,
Yeah, it's
granted, these are not official polling or anything like that. We do need to get the officials in there, but that's kind of awesome. Every time I went to LA, it wasn't necessarily for that. The one time I've been in New York, it wasn't for that, but I made sure to fit it in. It's like, oh no, I'm going to a legendary comedy club.
Nice.
So
Right.
I ended up going to the Stand, which is great. Tried to go to Caroline's. That's when I found out that they're not there anymore.
That's wild.
Which,
You know what though? I think great. Like you're making the point of it. I do see what you're saying. Like, so if you went to LA, that might not be your sole purpose for going. But if someone's going to
Yeah.
Austin, that's probably what they're
Right.
going for. Is going
Right.
I think
to
so.
do the that makes complete sense. I can get behind that. Yeah, because I know if I'm going,
maybe
to
it's
New
a
York,
bubble.
I might. I'm definitely probably going to go see some comedy, but that might not be the biggest thing that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
Might be the most fun part of what I'm going to be
Right.
doing, but I'm definitely going to be going to do other things.
Yeah, and I think they deserve some credit. I would say Rogan and Ron White specifically for kind of convincing everybody else to make that journey. But
Oh, for sure.
it might be a bubble, and it might be about to pop. I don't know, but man, I think what they're able to do in 5 years is like incredible. So I think they're a real contender for number 2. But currently, it seems like LA still hasn't beat by a bit, in my humble opinion.
No, you're not wrong. Like I'm not ever going to say that I don't think it's a comedy hub, and what they've done down there in such a short amount of time is impressive. It's very impressive. To me, it's just like sometimes I just the people down there. Maybe I just watched too much of it in the past 2 weeks. That could be it, because it just felt like almost the same stuff, just out of a different face.
Yeah, very
Do you wanna-
blue.
Well, I made Charles watch something completely different.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we need to get you to watch it, but it is like 180 degrees opposite of, like, say, Gringo Poppy, which had no like
Relax.
forethought or production put into it. But
Oh, boy.
this has like John Waters in it and claymation and stuff. It's
What is it?
Sarah squirms in the living
Live in the
flesh or
flesh.
something like live in the flesh.
Holy fuck.
Apparently HBO makes specials still, and they just released
Oh,
it, I believe, over
yes.
the weekend. But it's over the top, man. It is exactly the opposite. If you want something that's not like Gringo Poppy at all,
It's
it's extra.
It's extra. I want to see the acoustic version of that set. Very different.
Oh, come on. Electric's where it's at. That's where you get those solos. I just got to say, Relax, so much better than Dicey.
I agree with that.
I had it stuck in my head for way too long. That thing will haunt me in a good way. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any conclusion on this? Does anyone? Do you think anyone has a shot to beat New York at what they have like 5 decades of building up here?
It would be very hard. It would be very hard because even like as many people as they listed, right? There's so many more that are what the comedians consider low level guys that are, like they said, killers that are going to be up there and haven't left in how many years. It's just going to be recycling and recycling, just getting bigger and bigger. Is there going to be a time where Austin develops their own comedians that aren't transplants? That's going to be the telling. That'll be the because are we going to see Joe Rogan as a thumb at 70 years old eating steroids out of a bucket? You know, like
in boats too.
I feel like if you were to ask me, if you were to ask me 20 years ago, like me, like deciding for whatever the hell I'm going to do with my, staged show, I'm not moving to Austin. Like if you take me from 20 years ago and drop me today, I still would want to be in New York because Austin, it feels like people are going there for a very specific type of comedy. And if you're trying to work, elsewhere, on the road, whatever, like if you're not completely blue, New York, Austin is, I don't know, it doesn't have a reputation yet, especially after you've played those clips of comedians basically being like, it's kind of dank.
Which is if they develop their own guys, to be honest. Because is it really a scene like just because they're there, or is it an LA scene transplanted to a different city?
It seems like yes, but LA had such a wide scene. Like they had the UCB type, which is nothing like the Rogan type. For a while, they kind of had different haunts. Like I know they were literally doing like the Rogan podcast out of the Ice House way back in the day. That was kind of like their place. It seems like they always kind of tried to make like an insular little community. So I don't know.
Sure, they did. I remember that because at first it was like his garage, and then it was the Ice House. That was like their big place. And you're right, they tried to make their own community. I think the telling thing will be is if we see young comedians who hit it off that are from that area that came up through there.
I think different subgenres will help too, because again, it's a very Kill Tony, Rogan-esque comedy scene where Los Angeles, you'll have a bunch of different types of comedians. New York, you'll have a bunch of different types of comedians that are like breaking through. There's, if you don't like this particular brand of comedy, you have other things going on. Austin, I haven't heard anything about, a really good scene for queer comedians. So until they establish some sort of voices, I think it's hard to consider it like that yet.
Like it definitely has a massive following. Like the fact, like you said, Gray, that they were able to do this in such a small amount of time is amazing. The fact that we're even having this conversation shows that it's on the radar. It's definitely made its way. But I kind of feel the same as Charles. Like And I'm not saying that every comedian from Austin is the same. I that would be stupid of me to say that, you know. It just, to me, it definitely has a feel, maybe because a lot of them are like-minded and that's why they moved there. Like I said, they were trying, like Rogan was trying to make his own sub-community, almost like, so maybe that's it until I think, like, for me, it'll be once like newer comedians come up from that area, and let's see what they're talking about, because we don't get, also, you know, like when you get New York comedians, they talk about New York a lot. They talk about, you know, stuff, until we get that Texas humor. Maybe we don't know, like, you know, yet we get the transplant Texas humor, how different it is from where they lived before, as opposed to being brought up that way. I that's just my opinion. So I think it would be interesting too. I think it would be very interesting to see what comes out of there. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
For sure. I just don't know how long you need to like live in a place before you can kind of claim it. You know, like if you go all in, move to New York, like you're trying your hand at New York comedy. So I don't know, any success. I'd say you did it as a New York comedian.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think these guys are repping Austin in their way, like anyone else would. But I don't know. Is there so long you need to be in a place before you can? Charles, you actually were in one of these places. Is there so long you need to be in New York trying before you can say you're a New York comedian?
I don't know, because on the one episode of Kill Tony I watched, there was a local comedian that says he was doing it for 3 years, and that sounded like someone who's had 3 sets ever. I think it depends on who, like what it is you're doing.
It was me in a mask.
Yeah.
I tried, guys. I tried. I don't know.
It all depends. Like if you have talent, like Eddie Murphy, like was huge. He was an extremely talented guy and had so much shit happen before he was 25.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, you need more time in the oven. Some people you don't. Hey, I thought you were presenting more video evidence of something that I have experience with. Am I making that up?
I was not going to do that today.
Okay.
I need some time
to
put that together. Yeah, you're talking about William Montgomery, right?
I believe yes.
Okay, I will get you clips. Is that what we? So should we move on to something different next time, or I don't know what you guys want?
I think we're like all of the same mind that New York is where you go. Austin's certainly something to be considered, but each city has its pluses. Again, an actor, a comedic performer, you probably want to stay in LA. A comedian who's trying to break in comedy, maybe Austin, but a comedian and also an opportunity to write is New York.
Yeah, the one thing that I think that we take from all of this, though, is that comedy's at least on an uptick, that there's more places to go, whether you like this style or this style or this style. There's more places to go, and that's just good in general for comedians. Who have always had a very hard time even making, you know, like a buck here or a buck there. I appreciate the fact that they have more places to go.
I agree.
That's just overall health of the genre, and I think it can lead to better things. I really do hope that the Austin circuit doesn't peter out. I hope it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they get more people, and they have more guys that challenge each way of thinking, where you get a broader spectrum of comedy from everywhere. That's my hope, because I think that'll be just good for everything, you know, because it sucks whenever TV's made out of like one place, you know, like they always have that singular spin on it, and it's like, ugh, it would be cool if we got something from here or from New York or something, you know, that would be awesome.
To kind of try to white knight Austin a little bit. I know they've always had that kind of like keep Austin weird thing. They do have some alt comedy that is there. It's just nowhere near as popular. There's no way that it can compete with like Kill Tony or anything.
Right. I just don't know about
that being said,
You're right.
I hope some of that stuff gets big too, because I don't know. I think that was one of the cool things about LA was it kind of fostered some weird and far out comedy, and I kind of dig some of that. But everything's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
Laps, you brought up stuff you watched this week. What did you
Oh my
catch up
god!
on?
So it was a bunch of Austin stuff. I watched. I watched Tom Segura's The One Before Sledgehammer, whatever that was.
Like Ball Hog or something.
It was something. And I watched Secret Time by Bert Kreischer, which was not good. I did not like that at all.
But he had a dicey like thing. It was the Secret Time.
Oh,
so I did, however, start to watch. I did get a video, and I have it. I can upload it of Brendan Schaub's first comedy special, and I did start watching it from Showtime.
Is it better?
Did he cook it longer? Are there punchlines at all?
I only got through the first 15 minutes so far. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh my god!
I was just
Has there been a punchline?
Oh my god!
Yeah. He had two.
Okay.
He had two.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The best part about it was they were mixed up, and one was for a joke he told earlier, and then the punchline that he gave wasn't even for a joke that he told.
No.
Yeah.
You're supposed to edit those things.
I'm pretty positive that's how it was, because I watched it very intently after Green, because I was like, all right, I got to give this my best. And I was like, wait a minute, didn't he tell that joke like 4 minutes ago? And is this a callback? But how can it be a callback if he didn't mention it? I was like, what is happening?
Speaking of Mr. Spicy, I watched Brian Callen's special, which I think it's called False Gods, which is on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some work, but I think Brian Callen does a bit on his children or his son that feels like Brendan Schaub's bit punched up. It's ominously similar. Because when we were watching the Gringo Poppy thing, something that Brendan Schaub brought up about his kid, it just felt really thin. But Brian Callen has a thing that really feels like a fleshed out version of the same joke. So I'll have to try to see if I can get those two clips together.
The
only thing I remember from that one is the closer, the whole.
Oh my god!
Where it's kind of clapter.
I watched Shane Gillis' beautiful dogs.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me get my glasses.
I'm trying to avoid
love that
good
one.
comedy.
I watched Theo Von Regular People. I watched the Andrew Schultz Life. Cat Williams Woke Folks.
I didn't hate that one.
Let's see. Oh, you know what I thought was funny though? The section that was like Rogan and all that, it was called Politically Incorrect Stand-Up Comedy. That's actually where the thing was. The Andrew Schultz Life. I watched one of Dave Chappelle's, and then I watched Bill Burr. I'm Sorry You Feel That Way. Secret Time with Bert Kreischer. Oh, Ari Shaffir's America's Sweetheart. I watched that.
That one's not bad.
And then I watched Ralphie May, Unruly. And then I watched Torching 2024, which was the roast of the year. And my God, that felt like it took forever.
Yeah, there were some really bad things in that roast of the year.
But that's what I watched this past week.
Torching
Charles. Yeah, so they roast. So Jeff Ross hosts it. They're roasting the year 2024, and they're bringing in a bunch of comedians to kind of do their roast on it. And Tom and Bert come in as a duo, a comedy duo.
They come in as a couple.
Yeah, it's
not good.
It's interesting.
It's not good. I looked at it and I was like, oh, this could be funny, you know? No, but
yeah,
that
I
is
also
what I watched.
thought it had potential.
There was something else that I started. I think it might have been the Matt Rife thing that are we still doing that next week? The Matt
Christmas
Rife?
I think
episode.
we have
no?
to, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's next week, right?
Right.
We got to. Okay.
Yeah, so I started watching that, but that was another one where I just don't know him enough. I only know him from like clips off the internet and like him talking about like meeting women and like women this and oh honey please, and I'm just like, all right, guy.
He's a pretty boy.
People like you.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy. I don't know how I feel about a pretty boy doing stand-up about being pretty.
Well, just wait. Okay, so quick question.
Yes, sir.
So obviously we can't stream it because it's Netflix.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll get flagged. Do we watch it together or do we just come in with notes?
I
If we
think
watch
we
it together, we can start recording these
we can
things
get
and we
clips,
could have
yeah.
them somewhere else.
Yeah, I think if we watch it together and record it, make sure we don't put it up as we're doing it. I think we're okay. We just got to pull up the clips. Did anyone speak to WZ about? Oh, wait, I should probably say that off air.
I have not.
No. I know he's been
only
working
speak
a
to him
lot.
to tell him he does amazing work.
Indeed.
That man.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to talk to him. I know he's been working a lot, so I haven't messaged him at all.
I didn't mean to bring it up live. I just
No, you're fine. Right. I do say, you know what we could do? We could record like this. And we know that the cameras are on, so we don't have to look at it, but we could watch it in Discord and react live while we're doing it and then take clips from the video itself, like from us.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So like at least if it's, we know that this part happens at this time break or something, or we could just watch it together off air and then talk about it on air.
Yeah. Why don't we put a pin in this? Because I think I have a solution to this.
Okay.
We could talk about it off air. But
yeah, that's fine.
Salutations. Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
overall,
hell
I had a fun time. Like, I could say I'm watching a lot more comedy than I have, and I'm being introduced to more people than I would know. So that's fun. Maybe not so
I've been
fun.
going back and watching a couple of them that I thought were like my favorites of the year to try and kind of pin one down. Man, it's so much more enjoyable watching comedy that you enjoy rather than
oh, for sure.
Like the Gringo Poppy type. But man, my wife kind of saw this weird one this weekend and suggested it, and my God, it's a trip. That Sarah Squirms Live and in the Flesh, or however the hell that says. It's worth seeing. It will stick with you, man. The last 15 minutes is intense.
Yeah, it says I have it check mark Sarah Squirm Live and in the Flesh.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I got that check mark on Max. So
there's a heavy amount of claymation in there, but
oh, boy.
yeah, kind of intense, man.
It's like Pee Wee Herman on like fucking meth. It's wild.
Ballsy Pee Wee Herman though. Yeah, it is the opposite of Gringo Poppy. So yeah, I've been enjoying some good comedy, and yeah, it makes me want to show you guys some bad comedy, and let's do that next week.
When does the good start? Is my question.
Well, doesn't Tom Segura have one coming out here shortly, like on the 24th or like the 22nd?
I think so. I was gonna say I think there's a couple that are supposed to release like right around the end of the year. But come on, man, you got Matt Rife to look forward to. That's got to be good, right?
What would be very interesting to do would be looking back at places like Second City or the Groundlings and stuff, and look at all the people that came out of there. Sketch comedy might be a fun thing to look at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I love me some sketch. I don't think Charles is as highly. I don't think he thinks of it as highly. You're a stand-up snob.
I'm inexperienced. Yeah. It's not my cup of tea. I don't lean to it.
Right.
I'm fine to talk about it.
That's perfectly fine. But to me, there are some like the Upright Citizens Brigade, dude. The John Denver skit, dude, is so fucking hilarious. I don't understand how no one laughs at it. You replace everything with nutsack.
Yeah,
I love so much sketch, man.
There's some stuff that I enjoy.
Sketch.
Chappelle's stuff, SNL stuff. Like when it's on, it's really quite entertaining.
I think, I'm a huge fan of sketch. Like you mentioned UCB, but there's also SCTV, which is in
Right.
some ways superior to
Kids in the Hall.
SNL. And then you've also got Kids in the Hall. But then you've also got like the British versions, like Man Stroke Woman is just like fucking insane. And it's
Yeah.
got Nick Frost in it. There's some really amazing shit
There's
out
some
there.
really bad stuff too that from sketch
Oh.
comedy. I remember the first time I saw the chicken lady on fucking the Kids and All. I was like, what in the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What am I
I
watching?
mean, it takes a certain kind, but you know, there's a bunch of other fun ones, like Mr. Show. Man, I
Oh,
love
Mr.
those
Show's
things,
so
and
good,
it's
dude.
just they're crazy in the best possible way.
Mr. Show, dude.
Um,
Whenever the metal band goes to meet their biggest fan, and it's just, he's just sausages. The little kid. Oh, dude, that's so fucked up.
Oh, love it so much.
So good.
Charles, I know you're a fan of Bob Odenkirk. Do you know
I
Mr.
am.
Show? Okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
I like
Okay.
Mr. Show. I like how it starts.
It was
like,
amazing.
they kind of start on stage and then it leads to all the different stories. I like that. I thought it was.
Yeah, the transitions were like the craziest part of that show. I dig it, man.
Yeah.
It's like music in a weird way. But yeah.
Right, yes.
So where would you consider that? Because supposedly Cross got his start in New York, but I believe they film most of that in LA. Is Mr.
Right.
Show an LA thing?
Mr. Show is, but I mean, I've seen
Okay.
David Cross stand-up specials. You know what I mean? Like his
For
Ricky
sure.
Henderson bit is fucking phenomenal.
He's real hit or miss with me, but man, that dude can be hilarious.
Yeah, I think I think he works better in film and TV than he did as a stand-up.
Yeah,
That's
I love him
probably
as characters.
a tribute to writing too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, because a lot of guys that you don't realize that were writers beforehand.
Mm.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Louis
You know,
C.K. like
Yeah.
before anyone knew him was a writer on a bunch of shit.
Adam Sandler
Dude.
started off as a writer for SNL, and he didn't want to be. He talked about that on the thing with Letterman, that show with Letterman on was it Netflix or HBO, one of those
Mhm.
things. He was like, they hired him as a writer, and he was like thinking like, fuck, because his roommate Tim Hurley, he was writing all the stuff for him. So he's like, oh fuck, he's like, I know how to do the stuff, I don't know how to write this stuff.
That's funny.
That was kind of interesting. Yeah, it was an interesting story. But that would be fun to,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
all those things would be fun to
Hmm.
you know, talk about.
All right. Let's definitely do it. Let's
But next week we got
let's
Matt
bring it
Rife.
up. True. We cannot overlook the master of crowd work and his most daring special yet.
Motherfucker's got 5 specials in 5 years.
Yeah. You know, he's hard working. You
Well, he's
aren't
definitely
mentioning
gonna-
his sci-fi projects as well.
He's definitely got to have more specials, because once those looks go, he's done. He's gonna
Well-
film all the time.
I wish him many a year. I don't know. We'll see. Perhaps this is the best special of the year. Who knows? You guys haven't seen it, right?
I only saw the first like 20 minutes.
I've seen like a total of 2 minutes of his stand-up
Let's see.
ever. So Cody suggested him. I don't know if Cody's taking a piss or if he genuinely wants
Oh,
to
remember?
know.
He showed you other comedians before. He's opened your mind to them. Wasn't it
22
Schultz
minutes
or
in.
somebody that he showed you?
Andrew Schultz, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 22 minutes into Unwrapped, a Christmas crowd work special.
Oh, brother.
It's themed. You don't understand. You can do one for each season. Um,
That's the other thing too. Like, I'm being awfully snobby. Crowd work, I feel like that's not writing. That's just. It's just
okay.
Well, you could be like, write something for if someone reacts this way,
Sure.
I do this, or if some.
Sure.
But I know what you're saying. Most of it's riffing. Like you're just
Yeah, you're
riffing off of what you know to how
You're-
to react to someone.
you're like doing the comedy equivalent of counting cards.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
It could be.
Thank you.
I like that.
He's
actually.
doing this a slightly different way. I've got a couple of crowd work specials from this year that I really dug.
Can't wait.
Big J. Okerson has one that was them they. It was
Big
a
J.
2-part
Okerson
crowd
is
work special.
funny though. That's the thing.
Yeah, He does crowd work a little bit differently. I think he might have some things holstered, but it isn't quite as much of that. But man, what Rife does in this, it just reminds me so much of. I don't want to give it away, but he's doing something also I haven't seen in crowd work. So
Okay.
I'd like to hear your opinion on it.
Oh,
But
I'll-
I look
I'll
forward
finish
to
it
that.
tonight. I'll finish. it.
Yes, Jaden. Crowd work is what you do when your writing isn't working. Yes, Jaden. Very much so.
Or if you want to fill some time, if they tell you stretch, are you going to waste a whole new bit, or are you just going to mingle a bit?
Dude, is it accurate that Big Red Machine has an hour of material? Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got more than that.
More.
It was over 30 minutes that he did when he opened for Tony when I saw him. Yeah, man.
Wow.
William Montgomery's the shit. I will win you over to Team Montgomery. Just
Can't
wait. That'll be a few weeks ahead. I need to prepare some clips, but I will make you love this man.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's basically it for today, right? We've got everything all assigned for next week, but oh yeah, guys.
Oh wait,
I think we've settled this.
Are we dressing up? I'm dressing up.
Oh, we have to.
I mean, we're supposed to.
Okay.
right?
I just wanted to make sure it was on camera and we all agreed. Because if I show up
I'll
and you
make
guys
sure.
are looking like that, and I'm fucking looking like a reject
Sure,
elf.
we'll be there. Go ahead.
I'll make sure to bring my rose skin. It'll be red for the occasion. It'll be great.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, all right, guys. What else you guys got going on this week? Anybody got anything cool going on? Charles?
I might be doing like an all-nighter thing on the weekend. I don't exactly know what the fuck it is just yet, but
damn.
Yeah.
Are you gonna I did want to extend the invitation because I know you were asleep last week. But this week we're doing our own list of our own personal top 10 Christmas movies.
Oh.
So I mean, you're
I'll-
always more than welcome to be there.
I will try to be there. I
Okay.
don't want to say one way or another.
No, I'll just be honest. Like I was like, I hope he's okay. That's all I thought. That's it.
The little guy.
9 times out of 10, I'm asleep. It was just, I
That's
genuinely
totally
wanted to be there.
understandable. But that's
Genuinely wanted to be
understandable though. It's like fucking 2:30 in the 1:30 in the morning. Like I totally get that. So I just wanted to, it's always open the invitation, but I wanted to give you the subject matter before you showed up and was like, hey, and then you knew nothing
Yeah.
of what we were doing.
If you're talking about comic stuff, I'm like, I could probably sleep in.
Well, you could use comic movies. Some of them take place at Christmas, but it's your take on your 10 favorite Christmas, should you choose to make it. But
Right.
I think you'll be there on Thursday, though, right, for Thinkers?
I believe so.
Okay. I'm assuming, so every Thursday night on YouTube at That Darn Kidda, and then we also have The Thinkers doing a Think, which is a separate channel, a new channel, a channel that the Thinkers are migrating to. So, yeah, if you want to check that out, it's an international panel. We get together, disagree about everything. Usually we can leave amicably. I think we're talking about specifically Rob Reiner and the kind of fallout about that situation. I'm assuming, and probably more news. So, yeah, if you want to get an international opinion on that, come over Thursday night. And then back here for the last panel on Friday.
Yeah, I got I'm doing last panel Friday, and then me and Warren just started our own comics. Like on Monday, we're gonna review comics, and we're actually going to review them. That's like we've set it up to where this is what it's gonna be. This is what we're doing. This is what we're following. But we're gonna do something a little bit different, as opposed to like where we sit down and we have the comic book up on screen. I'm gonna pre-record stuff like I do for Laps Comic Fan. We're gonna watch it and then we'll review the comic. That way we don't have to keep doing it.
When do you start talking about the transes, though?
The what?
The transes. When do you start talking about the transes during your comic?
Usually whenever that has nothing to do with them. That's the best time to bring it up. I only have like 6 rows on my bingo card. I don't have a full 6x6 dotting of bingo card. And I do try to bring everything up within 5 minutes of each other. try to be consistent. Yeah. As I'm waving in airplanes in the freaking the gremlins that infest my mind, you know. But that's what we got going on for Monday. Yes, I have read Blackest Night. Mr. Adam Buskirk. Yes, sir. I have read Blackest Night. I actually have like the whole Green Lantern stuff over here. Right there.
All the green.
Yeah. Oh, and I Gray, did I tell you about my comic book collection? Did I tell you it was evaluated and I got the number and everything? Are you're muted?
You're muted. See, now we can tell that you're muted, Gray.
No, I was here all along. No, I haven't heard about your value. I value your collection quite highly.
Well,
but
I'm getting rid of all the doubles. I'm gonna give those to my nephews, but I won't give an exact number. I'll tell you off screen. But it was it made me shameful.
Why?
You should be ashamed of that, man.
You'll hear, Charles. You'll hear in a little bit.
Okay.
You hope for the numbers to be positive. You want your collection to be worth something. It makes sense.
Yeah. But all right, everybody. You guys all have a great night. And if we don't see you, Merry Christmas and all that stuff, but come back next week.
Right. We're talking Rife.
Yes, sir. Matt Rife.
Happy Rifesmith.
Yes, happy Rifesmith.
Click like, subscribe, all that other shit.
Yes, sir.
It's the night of the night's a time for laughter. We have the guys to fill a buster, even though one of them is a jar of mustard. Thank God it's Tuesday. We take a look at comedians, and Charles used to be one. We have a lot to say about comedy. Can you believe Gray is a jar of mustard? And then there's Lapsed. What does he do? And why is here? Thank God it's Tuesday.